the election where them do. We still they wait for the change. All the promise when they make, it don't be like saying a fake. Where the money, where the food, everybody want improve. Since you
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, la mọ̀ dododo. Maiyegun diary,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun diary, lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary,
Thank you for joining me. Share the broadcast.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Àwọn kan jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ wa tí wọ́n ní iṣẹ́ dáadáa lọ́wọ́ tó jẹ́ pé inú wa sì dùn wípé Ọlọ́run bùkún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ti bá ọkàn wọn dá májẹ̀mú wípé ní agbára Ọlọ́run by 2000 AD òmìnira máa dé fún ẹ̀ka òmìnira. Èmi sì mọ̀ dájú wípé Ọlọ́run Oòduà, Ọlọ́run Ọ̀rànyàn, Ọlọ́run Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀, Ọlọ́run Adékúnlé Ajáṣin, amúwadé ilẹ̀ tuntun náà níbi tí ẹ̀gbin, ìyà, àti ìrẹ́jẹ kò ní sí fún ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire mọ́.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Thank you.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. After that, drop your offering. After dropping your offering, read the caption and the description of this broadcast. Look at where you can also make your own contribution. I'll say, thank you for joining me. Share the broadcast.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Thank you.
Ayé ẹ̀sùn rákì. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò. Ayé ẹ̀sùn rákì.
I'm sharing the broadcast. You should do the same.
Ayé ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ayé ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Thank you. And to my friends who are joining me either on Facebook or YouTube, just do your best and share the broadcast before you settle down. It is how you can possibly let others know. Lately, I have been receiving a kind of less, recommendation for my Facebook due to, limitation and all of that stuff. We are used to that, and you can join me on my YouTube channel. That too. Somehow we are doing fine there, and you can join us. So tonight, let me read a caveat on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. I don't like the Nigeria politicians, and I don't pretend about it. Okay, I don't like them. And I've given my reasons. And I have legitimate reasons, like my friends here. And I don't pretend about it. Also, I am very, very, very biased to the politicians in Nigeria, past, present, and the future. So I don't look forward to being their friend. I don't look forward to being in their good book, bad book, or whatever book or anything they do. Wherever they stand, I will stand opposite it until when they begin to start. That is if they ever, that's me. If they ever have to come back to line and listen to the sense of reasoning and stop this bloodbath, altogether agree on the process of breaking up of the Nigeria, then maybe we can be on the same page. So I'm very biased against them, okay? So don't come on to MaiyegunsDiary to expect any fair treatment of any Nigerian politician. Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Egun, Idoma, Ijo. I don't give a damn. To me, they all look the same. And because of that, I am very, very biased towards them. So don't feel like you're going to get anything other than, apart from the truth, anything other than serious passion on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. So that is why it is better for you to know what you are getting yourself involved in before you waste your time here. Don't raise your expectation. The reason why I talk more about the APC, Kebbi, is because they are in charge of Nigeria right now. They are responsible for every goddamn thing going on in that place today. And I would never be part of those that will give excuse for them. And I've always been very clear. When you trash APC, Kebbi, PDP, people destroying people, people deceiving people, they will never be an alternative. I have said that many times. So I hope this helps, so that you don't come here and say, this Maiyegun, why don't you say the good things they do? They have no good things they've done in my book. Do you understand that? Because in my own book, when politicians do anything that looks like good for you, if you look critically into it, you have been scammed 100%. Yes. And that is why in my own book, no single Nigerian politician will have anything real good with me. But mind you, when I see policy, because to me, the reason why Nigeria is what Nigeria is today, and the reason why Nigeria is breaking apart today, is because there is no single policy in that country that is tailored towards the benefit of the generality of the people. Never one. It's always tailored towards a particular agenda, and that is why in the long run it never serves any real larger purpose other than the minute few. So to me, but if I see them do something like policy-wise, for example, let me give you one example, because I am not really a sadist or a blind man, and you know what? No. When in your state, the policy of free and quality education was introduced by the governor that is there right now, I was personally impressed. Not because of the announcement, but because of the policy formation towards it, which means if it is sustained, even that will outlive whoever put that in place, because it will impact the life of an average or your resident in a large way, bigger way. To me, that is positive, policy-wise. Not Father Christmas, Almajiri style. Give us food, we are hungry. Oh yeah, take. Oh, we are starving, give us food, take. No. Policy makes government, to me. So, when they pretend to do anything nice, just be a little bit curious, because it is indeed probably covered with, what do you call it? The worst of the worst that will eventually defeat the intention, so to say. So to me, on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, I am not their friend. I don't have an expectation of them. I don't want you to have an expectation of them. I don't want you to expect me to be in a little way nicer to any of them, because I know primarily that Nigerians they have chosen their, or should I put it this way, Nigerians love their oppressors differently. Nigerians love their thieves differently. That is why when you see them tear themselves apart in public on behalf of their own thieving oppressors, they will be giving instances of how this one is better than that one. My own thief is better than your own thief. Who is your own thief? Ah, my own thief is Tinubu. Oh, who is your own thief? My own thief is Atiku. Right? They say, oh, Atiku is better. Oh, Tinubu is better. That is what Nigeria is. I know that. And I know my audience very well. And I just want my audience to know me too. I don't like them. And all their friends, all their supporters, sellers, food soldiers, online, offline, they don't really like me too. And there's no hard feeling. And that is why when they bring tribe, when they bring religion, when they bring class into political conversation, I continually tell you, you should be what? You should always be beyond that, because these are the primary things, distractions that they use to get you hooked on falsehood that probably leads to nowhere, as always. So I've told you, when we are talking about politics, when we are talking about politicians, then we are talking about policies. All these things affect you directly, whether you like politics or not, whether you are involved in politics or not. It doesn't really matter whether you vote in an election or not. Politics, politicians, and their policies. This is what they do. This, combination of all this, right, is what affects you more than what they will tell you religion does to you. And that is why when we want to hold the criminal politicians that are responsible for their actions, right, we would not be distracted by tribe, by religion, by ethnic, by class, by every other sundry nonsense that they always play with to distract us. You get that now? So we are beyond that. Recognizing criminal politicians and what they have done in the past, present, that has affected a lot, indeed, that has now pictured the country like Nigeria, the poverty capital of the world, also the terrorist capital of Africa, the vice president of the most terrorized people in the whole world. This whole accolade, this whole certificate were brought upon Nigeria in the last 7 years. If any of you die of any insecurity today, it is as a result of the failure of APC, Egbe. And the reason why I said that we are beyond tribal, religious, ethnic, and every other stupid things they used to tell you that, oh, is it because he's an Hausa man? Oh, they hate him because he's a Fulani man? Oh, they don't like him because he's a Yoruba man? Oh, they hate him so much because he's an Igbo man. I don't want you to be in that bracket. You should leave that bracket of people who are thinking like that. Because those are the foot soldiers who give excuses for the criminals who are responsible for every goddamn thing that has gone wrong with Nigeria that brought you to this stage. PDP is not your alternative because you know there is no difference between them, right? But when you want to hold anyone responsible for the calamity happening to you today, the division, the bloodshed, the kidnapping, the corruption, don't let anybody use any excuse to distract you. Maybe it is how God wanted. That's a lie. Oh, maybe, it's because the Yorubas are this or that. The Igbos are this. Don't let anybody play that card with you. And once you kind of pass that stage, trust me, you will see things clearly as they are. And that will clearly help you, right, to decide on what direction do you want to take your emotion, because that's the last thing they steal from you. It is the first thing they deprive you of, and it's the last thing they will take away from you, your emotion. And they always kind of get them by appealing to your tribe. Remember, he's a Yoruba man. You don't need to talk like that. We know they are all the same. Igbo people will never say same of their leaders. Hausa will never say the same of their leaders. We know all these people are criminals, but they are our criminals. They are Yorubas. Once you are no longer swayed by those lies, your emotional intelligence is what? Is superb. And I bet many of us actually have that emotional intelligence to this point. Do not be emotionally blackmailed to support the rogues and what they stand for simply because they speak your language, simply because they worship in the same worship house, the same, because they probably look like you. That doesn't mean that they reason like you. And once you pass that stage as well, like I said, you will be at par with Maiyegun's line of thinking. My own line of thought, so to say, has to do with how does politics affect me? And what is the consequences of having rogues making policies for you? The consequences of that is, first, they take the power from you. Second, they demoralized you by every tool of their government policy, weaken you, and then they will subject you to their whim and caprices for the rest of your life if you feel comfortable in that slavish condition. It works that way when they take the sovereignty from you because it belongs to you, right? And then they decided to economically, through their policies, let me break that down for you as well. Policies is what makes people poor. It is not the village people. It is not the evil spirit. It is not because you are a sinner. You are not poor because you have sinned or you inherited the sins of your fathers. No, that is where they use religion to manipulate you. And as Nigeria is, for those who have studied Nigeria very, very well, right? Nigeria is a place where victims are blamed for the crime of their aggressors. They take it away from you through their policies. They give you terrible education. They miseducate. They miseducated us, so that we would never have enough material to challenge them and their brutality, corruption, incompetence, and what have you. They miseducated us. Millions of us got terrible kind of education that would never get us employed anywhere, not even in a water factory. And that is deliberate. They said that a nation that trains youth is going to be a great nation. Educated nation is expected to be a great nation. So when they give you terrible education, adulterated education, an education that lacks substance or history, something that could connect you to make you feel like you have a country, and all that you read about, it's going to be about the criminals, genocidists, bunch of code-hearted animals who have written different histories about themselves, how they lifted millions out of poverty because they just existed. They changed your history, miseducated you, and at the end of the day, put you in that servitude position that you would never have enough courage. A population of 200 million that have no courageous people who could challenge the rogues, parading themselves, as successful leaders or politicians, so to say. Just like Tinubu, we have an army of unemployable younger people in Nigeria today, and courtesy of those who have those who set the rules, those who lay down the policies, those who were supposed to build a very country where everyone is at least economically stable to some extent, not breeding the army of dependents, the army of beggars, the army of Hushians, the possible army of terrorists that will continue to escalate insecurity, or in the nooks and crannies of the country, so to say. This is the legacy of those who have ruled Nigeria and those who ruled Nigeria in the last 7 years. The result of this is that it has brought more economic hardship, ruin. It has brought more killings, death. It has brought more displacement, refugees. It has brought in more corrupt people, emboldened that they would never be held accountable for all of their actions. So last 7 years I've seen that, and then these rogues are grouping together again in the country called the poverty capital of the world. APC, Kebbi, will sell their presidential form, interest form for 100 million naira. And to the average Nigerians who could barely afford 1,000 naira a day, to them, it is all right. It's not a meme. The money bags who stole your money all these years, this is the time for them to flex it. The poverty level they have created. Look at it this way. Normally, you shouldn't be so concerned about what they do in there if there is a system that takes care of that. However, the trick of rogues like them, coming forward to say, we are going to buy the form for you, is another deceit that many call the, result of long time, no, there's a word for it, long time service to humanity. According to these foot soldiers, who have always been very much waiting for their turn for after their own ancestors are gone, right? According to them, yeah, it is progressive in nature for them to raise 100 million naira. And then, we've seen the trick before, haven't we? That's not even the reason why we are having this chat. The reason why we're having the chat is that let's start from the calamity of these rogues. And then those who are angling that they were going to tell me they are going to take over from where Bukwari is going to stop. First, Bukwari came out just 2 days ago and he said that people are forgetful, that many Nigerians don't remember things or they quickly forget things. According to him, if not because he came in, Nigeria would have become history by now. That looters would have looted everywhere by now. And then Nigeria would have, all manner of things that many of you are just not appreciative. And it's so unfortunate. Now, can we just try and say we are not forgetful? Now, Bukwari and gang are suffering from dementia. But if they are suffering from dementia or suffering from a selective amnesia, at least we are not. And if their own mugus continue to put the wool over their own eyes, we are not one of them, and we will never be part of them. And our effort is to ensure that many people who they have put this wool over their eyes are never dragged down their own rabbit hole again. We are going to take the wool off. APC, Egbekegbe, destroyed Nigeria. APC, Egbekegbe, exposed the lie about Nigeria. APC, Egbekegbe, proved that Nigeria would never work. Because prior to APC, Egbekegbe, when the Boko Haram was spreading in northern Nigeria, northeast to be precise, Nigeria has 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Nigeria has 6 geopolitical zones with 774 local government areas. The Boko Haram was domiciled in northeast, one of the geopolitical zones. At the time, they were controlling about 4 local government areas. On the day of handing over to these criminals, there was no single local government area or town controlled by any terrorist, the Boko Haram, ever on record. To ensure of that, Goodluck Egbere Jolantan postponed the 2015 election, if you remember, when they handed over to these criminals, these rogues who promised heaven and earth, who are now giving hell and God knows what again to these Nigerians. There was no single place controlled by Boko Haram. Fast forward that. Hang on. When these rogues were about to take power, in 2015, Nigerian Army, DSS, and the Nigeria government under Goodluck Egbere Jolantan, they had about 183 arrested and facing prosecution terrorists, Boko Haram members who were being prosecuted for their crimes, including Kabiru Sokoto. Now, fast forward to 7 years after, northeast of Nigeria, Borno, which was handed over to Boko Haram and APC, Egbekegbe. Borno has witnessed over 800 terrorist attacks in the last 7 years alone. It shock you? Don't pretend that it shock you, because some of you that's why they said you are very, very forgetful. Not only Borno, today, 27 local government areas in Borno state, only just about 4 or 5 is currently under the control of the Nigerian government. I am not joking. This is real. In 7 years. Now it is no longer just in the northeast anymore. The terrorists have now kind of metamorphosed into others too. We now have what would they call the bandits, the Fulani terrorists, and the other, ISWAP too. Different terrorist groups have now taken position across northern Nigeria, eastern Nigeria, western Nigeria, and the Niger Delta region. In 7 years, the Nigerian military, they have lost, under this Boko Haram government, the Nigerian military alone, put it this way, the Nigerian soldiers that have died in the last 7 years alone have been over 7,000. I'm not making this up. You can go online and read them right now. Over 7,000 personnel have died in 7 years. There was a time that in 3 months alone, in 3 months, over 1,422 soldiers were killed by a combination of Boko Haram, Fulani bandits, the bandits, and different kind of terrorist group in northern Nigeria. In 7 years, we have seen Kabiru Sokoto released, and today the man that was behind the Madala bombing, the Christmas bombing of Abuja, you remember, who was standing trial for that terrorist act. In 7 years, the guy don't born 2 children. The talk said the guy is now suing Nigeria for illegal detention. That is, they detained him for so long. Yeah? And is suing Nigeria for billions of naira after killing over 20 people. You remember that story? Now, the guy don't give him home wife belle a few times, and he was supposed to be in jail. Rather than prosecute terrorists, Boko Haram's government opened a policy called Operation Safe Corridor. There is no law that backed it. There is no act of National Assembly that backed it. Nothing. Just the idea of Boko Haram and which is Inshallah and vibes, or vibes and Inshallah. Terrorists are getting field day. They are getting paid. It became the policy of Boko Haram's government that governors in northern Nigeria, Zamfara, Zamfara. There was never terrorism act in Zamfara until this APC, Egbekegbe, came. Now that APC, Egbekegbe, is in Zamfara, Zamfara is now a death zone. Benue slaughtered people in their thousands and all of that. This spread to Sokoto, the headquarters of ISWAP today. This spread to Niger. Niger state, as we speak, is where Abdul Salami Abubakar come from. Is where Babangida, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida come from. This is those who brought and tailored the journey of Nigeria to this, to this end, as we are currently seeing, right? Niger State has witnessed the worst of terrorism attack under this APC. Egbekegbe, they have their own hundreds of thousands of refugees from Niger State who are currently living in different parts of northern Nigeria as refugees, begging to leave as we speak. So, the Niger State is where the headquarters of Turuji, Kaduna, they exposed the hypocrisy of the Nigerian security agents, the Nigeria security agents who have always been, especially the military, the DSS, the police, and the rest of them who have been bragging that, the sovereignty of Nigeria can never be traded. They will die protecting Nigeria. They will do this and that. If anybody say, let us go and protest, soldiers will say, shoot and kill them. They want to destroy Nigeria. Blah, 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 blah. It is under this APC, Egbe, that the exposure came to light. That everything they have, all of those super starched uniforms, all those ranks they put on their shoulders, every of those decorations that make them look sparkling clean, with their superb photographer that always take their pictures whenever they are going to see the Kolu, the breeding mannequin inside the asshole rock. It is so obvious that they got all those ranks from killing their fellow supposed Nigerians. They have no capacity to protect or defend this sovereign or integrity of Nigeria. Territorial sovereignty of Nigeria. Do you understand that? Boko Haram exposed that. You may probably never paid attention. This is a ruined, tattered, destroyed country that they are paying 100 million naira to buy form to become president, 50 million naira to be governor, 20 million naira to be senator, 10 million naira to be rep member, 2 million naira to be House of Assembly member. Because after religion in Nigeria, politics is the next most lucrative business. There is a difference. Politics is going to make you a lot of money, but if you're able to open your own business center called church or mosque or any other worship center in Nigeria, where people who are running away from the bashing, the bullying, the abuses, the corruption of the political class, they can run into your temple for survival, for prayer, for God favor, to favor them more than their neighbors and the rest of them. That can be generational. You know that if you open a church, for example, that can be generational. But in politics, you make a lot. But in the, you know what I mean, Sha? After religion, politics is the most lucrative business in Nigeria, a country that is in tatters. A defenseless country, a country without a defense. General, colonel. These are people who never fought any war to defend Nigeria. Never. They fought and killed their fellow citizens who rose against those who are in political office or in power. That is how these guys got all those ranks. Boko Haram exposed them, no be me. It was under Boko Haram. Before they would say, hey, you better be careful if they bring in soldiers now. Hey, if they bring soldiers, hey, me, I don't want to allow. If they bring soldiers now, everybody, they will. Oh boy. Now, ragtag terrorists that have been invading military, not military checkpoint, military bases all over the Kaduna. Under Boko Haram, we see soldier they run. I saw soldier run anyway under Jonathan. Where soldier run enter mountain. Oh boy, we thought say because Jonathan na civilian. That's what they told them. Now civilian. They can't break one breeding mannequin scammer. Person where we say talk say no get money to buy form in 2015. The Mughals started donating 500, 1,000, 200, 500, 3,000, 10,000, 100,000. Many of those who donated money for Boko Haram to buy form, believing that if Boko Haram comes in, it's going to be a Robin Hood. It will take all the money stolen from them, from the looters, and Boko Haram is going to channel the money and give it to them. And they will start having good life. They contributed their money. I don't care if Buhari slap my father. Even if Buhari kill my father, I will still support him. He's the man of hope. He's the blah, 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 blah. Now, so they scam all of them. People will contributed money for Boko Haram to buy form, APC form in 2015. The people today that they do, Baba do giveaway. I feel urgent 2K. Baba, I won't die. Baba, I don't lose my job. Baba, I don't feel pay school fees again. Oh, Baba, everything done land. Oh, Baba, also is on strike. Oh, I don't know when I go graduate. All of them are lamenting today. And some bobo are also out to say they want to be president of a defenseless country. Are you not seeing what I am seeing? And the tone of one of my aunties. God bless her. God bless her soul. Are you not seeing what I am seeing? You know, get military if it defend you. Soldiers, everybody, they pick race. And the terrorists will walk in straight up. Pack all the guns, pack all of that. Right before your eyes, oh. ISWAP, Boko Haram, Fulani terrorists, they have armor personnel carrier. Una never say they don't mugu you, or you don't subscribe to this mugu nation, and you are expecting something different. No, did you be that? They are buying form to be. I mean, are they thinking? It's because nobody give a damn. Nigeria is turn by turn. Nigeria Limited. Now all of una be the stock. One Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. We need to work around our unity. Iwo atitani ode. Work on which unity? That they use you trade. That they use you trade Bitcoin, NFT. That they mint you. That's what they are doing. Buy form. Oh yeah, move buy form for Kolu. Tinubu is coming to give you a country without bandits. Who gave you the country of bandits in the first place? Who gave you bandit country? Have you asked yourself, I will give you a country of no bandits. Hey, thank you. Who gave you the country of bandits before? No be them. They said they will continue from where Bokwari is stopping. And from those of us who have been very much following the political situation in Nigeria and the collusion of those in government with the terrorists who have been kind of elusive to the authorities, because it is deliberate that they will continue to be elusive. They will continue never to be caught for real. And if they are ever caught, they will always be pardoned. The same Bokwari knows that somebody must come in to protect those secrets. They need trusted people to protect what they have done. Bokwari said he doesn't want to go to criminal courts in The Hague. He doesn't want to spend the rest of his life in jail. As we speak, they are now partnering with ICC investigators because of the atrocities they have committed. You may not know it. It may not be so popular in Nigeria, but the ICC are in Nigeria right now. And for those of us who know how to track them, we have seen them met with Pastor Ruga, talking about the human rights abuses, extrajudicial killing, and the current genocide going on in eastern Nigeria. The ICC team are in Nigeria right now. And that is why Pastor Ruga made the statement that, they will work with ICC. And also, the reason why they have not used the Super Tucano jet to shoot the terrorists kidnapping and killing in northern Nigeria is because they don't want Bokwari to be arrested after his tenure and be taken straight to The Hague, where he's going to be tried for using Tucano jet to shoot terrorists. But they are using their fighter jet to bomb down Olu, to shoot down innocent people. Their soldiers are committing a serious genocide in eastern Nigeria. They have been doing it since 2016. In one of those horrible times, which I'm going to try and remind you of, a quick one. Let me see if I still have it here anyway. So in one of those horrible times where they shot at people who were praying at a remembrance venue for their lost loved ones, right? Let me see, I think it's this one.
The Nigerian government has its own way of dealing with peaceful gatherings it doesn't like.
They started shooting us, killing our brothers. Over 10 of them were lying dead there.
The army is trained to kill and not to police.
So that was a while back. Sorry, I've got a stretch of it, but I just want to give you a snippet just to remind some of you. So ICC is in Nigeria right now, and the government of Bukwari, they are planning to to pollute them and kill them and other stuff. So they will need somebody to cover their ass with what they have done. Okay. And as we speak, we have already been told we would never have the chance whatsoever, but which is none of our business, so to say. At the end of the day, it will still be our business at some point. But the fact that we know those who are never going to have that chance, Tinubu is one of them. And indeed, we are looking forward to that too, right? So some guys came out today, they said somebody from Kebbi, from Kebbi, Alaji, Honorable something. Let me see if I get the name again. I'll try and find the name. His name is Aminu Suleiman. So APC met a few days ago, I think it's about 2 days ago, and they decided that they are going to sell their presidential form. Before I even come back to that form again, talking about the atrocities and the calamities of these rogues. Today, they have done so enough damage, if not terrible damages, to your Naira. When these guys came in 2015, your Naira to a dollar was then 199 Naira, and so many people were livid. They were raging like, what the hell? How could Nigeria even, Today, the people who screamed that it was unacceptable to have such ridiculous exchange rate to the Naira, to the dollar and as well, they brought in the change 7 years down the line. Change has now, crashed your Naira by over 500% devaluation. Your Naira is now somewhere around 550 Naira to a dollar, between 550 and 600 Naira to a dollar. And also, these rogues who told you then that it is so ridiculous and shameful that an oil-producing country like Nigeria should not, it should be unheard of that Nigeria is importing on refined crude. Like, what the hell? That is so shameful, right? Because it's unacceptable. However, they said they were going to be building, they were going to make sure that all your refineries that are moribund are back to life. Story, that they are also going to build you one refinery every year. It's been 7 years now. All your refineries, they were working at 50% capacity before these rogues came in. They are now working, congratulations, by the way, they are now working at 0% capacity. Nigeria is now importing their own petrol, 100% from abroad by the people who told you subsidy was a scam. Anyway, to making sure that you don't deserve any pity, especially as a Nigerian who have been living this lie as well for so long. You probably don't deserve any pity, right? Because the refinery, they no build. The one you had, they no repair. Now, for the last cash outs, right, they are going to borrow 4 trillion naira to pay for subsidy for just 1 year. Oh, ridiculous, right? Well, wait for it. So they are going to borrow 4 trillion naira to pay for subsidy so that you can have access to buy petrol for 160 naira or 170 naira per liter. Or you can be able to buy your diesel for, how much is it now? 700 or 600? 600 naira per liter. And on like that. So they will need to give those oil importers 4 trillion naira. Guess what? Your budget, your national budget in 2015, when these criminals were coming into power, was just somewhere around the 5 trillion naira. Now it's like you using all your 2015 budget, national budget, to give it to some individuals so that they can bring petrol into Nigeria. Now they are not shameful. They are so shameless about it and confident about their failure that some of you don't even understand it. 4 trillion naira. Maybe 5 years, if 7 years ago is a long time, let me bring you closer. You know why Dangote refinery is yet to be completed? I'll tell you. Dangote refinery was meant to cost, initially, it was meant to cost somewhere around the 2.3 trillion naira. Then they moved the price up as inflation is biting. And today, they said the entire worth of a Dangote refinery, if it comes to work or fully operational, they're sitting at 4.1 trillion naira. 4.1 trillion naira. That is what will build everything Dangote has been building for the past 10 years in Lagos. And that is exactly what Bokwari want to cash out as the last one. So those who were flaunting the worthless certificate of integrity, they probably are still living in that illusion or delusion, so to say. Because listen, Bokwari is one of the most corrupt criminal to ever walk the surface of this contraption called Nigeria. And I'll tell you, history don't lie. That's the point. You know, criminals who took charge of Nigeria rewrote the history. Now, rewriting history means they can present themselves as heroes. Of course, they'll present themselves as a saint, this, that, and that is something that is part of our miseducation. People grow up, and today they are adults with complete lie cooked together by the likes of Bokwari. All right, the first set of people to put Nigeria on this path of unitary system was Bokwari. And then the first person to overthrow the democratically elected government in Nigeria, the first person to do that was Bokwari, and he is the only person to have done that. Some of you may not know. So it's so kind of ironical, right? When the likes of Tinubu and gang decided that they were progressives, right? And they were working with a repentant dictator, Bokwari, a complete criminal, a rogue that should be serving a life imprisonment for his crimes, but rather from retirement, as they call it, right? Where he was cooling off with his 150 cows since 1988 when Babangida released him from prison. Rather than send him to prison, in jail for his crimes, they brought him back 30 years after that. But before that, right, as a vile, cold-hearted criminal that he is, Bokwari, he got an invitation from another bloody killer, Abacha. And it was after he met with Abacha that, you know what I mean? That he was able to finance the luxurious lifestyle that he promised Aisha, his new bride at the time. The big girl life that he promised Aisha, he couldn't really afford it until Abacha brought him, and they made him the head of PTF, Petroleum Trust Fund. And for those who know about Petroleum Trust Fund, it is like being given a blank check to Central Bank of Nigeria. You can write any amount you want in it, right? It's a blank check and dark check. Except who is asking, nobody will ever have an idea of how much you've stolen. Yeah, he made a lot of money from there. And he also made a lot of people some money too. That was why when they were selling the ideas of Bokwari was poor, is a poor man, is this and that, la, 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 and all of that, they had to sell you that. And it sold well to the point that you Muguns put your resources together, your Toro Kobos, your Equinis and Chillings and all that, yeah? You put them together to bring a fraudulent man to power. What did he do when he got in? Thieves that you thought were going to end up in jail or in exile, they started milling around him. In your own disappointment, screaming, ha, 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 Buhari, what are you doing with Uzokalu? Buhari, what? You know, Ja. Uzokalu gave Buhari Femi Oponu Adeshina from the Sun. Atifku, Anasaya, Ndanisa, whatever it's called. Atifku gave Buhari garbage Shehu. You know, see the connection? Of course you don't. Today, Buhari is pardoning thieves, convicted thieves. So those who looted their own people, stolen from them, today they have received presidential pardon from Mr. Integri Thief. Mr. Integri Thief. So you can no longer play the card of integrity in this regard, right? What about the joblessness? He called you lazy youth. Lazy youth. Then Tinubu came out and he said, well, it doesn't make any sense for anyone to call you lazy youth when they don't give you electricity. Oh, did Tinubu just say that? Yeah, go on. No, which go on? You have another 4 weeks of entertainment, my dear brothers and sisters. But you are just the ones they are deceiving. Don't tell yourselves in public that they are deceiving themselves, but in private, you they crush on them. Because many of you, they crush on them. You they agree with me when you they inside the temple. Maiyegun is talking. Yes, Maiyegun. Maiyegun is making sense. Man, this guy, they make sense. Yeah. After you leave this place now, your emotion will take over and say, now you go to, once they bombard you on WhatsApp and the rest of that. So you are the commodity. Now you then the mint. And if you can't see through it that you are going to be the victims of the consequences of all their actions, to minimize that, tell your friends to watch MaiyegunsDiary Politico so well. Thieves are now using proxies to buy themselves the forms. The question is this: under which constitution are they planning to conduct the election? Under what constitution is the person who wants to be the president going to act? Where is that president going to start from? Is he going to start from giving amnesty to terrorists? Or is he going to start recruiting new soldiers who are going to be patriotic Nigerians to help him fight the terrorists? Is he going to recruit new saints into the DSS so that they will do their real job and expose the sponsor of terrorism? Is he going to arrest and prosecute the sponsor of terrorism? Even though we know them now, there has been so many reports, investigation that has exposed the connection of all these religious leaders and figures in northern Nigeria to terrorism, the birth, the grooming of terrorism in northern Nigeria, the funding of terrorism in northern Nigeria. Would the next person be ready to arrest and prosecute them? Would the next person be ready to arrest and prosecute Buhari for genocide? Committing genocide in a part of a country? Would they be ready? Or would they just have to go all over the world begging the world to forgive the debt of Nigeria? Which of them is going to be the agenda of the next person? Or is he also going to what? Tell the soldiers to now stop killing innocent people who are asking for a referendum? So don't be deluded. Don't be deceived. Don't be blackmailed into believing anything they throw at you, because they're going to throw them at you. It is normal. And guess what? You've never done that before, right? Not showing interest at all in their election. Some of you are feeling like, how am I going to do that? There's a lot you can do. You've got nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. Now, I'll tell you why. Their law says that to make their own electoral system or process credible, at least. I like the fact that people, if they allow people to choose who they want to represent them and all that, there's possibility that you choose the right people if your choice is never going to be altered, manipulated, or in a way forced, which is the case in most cases in Nigeria. Okay, so you could have said, okay, yeah, I want to go and choose somebody to represent us and all that. But when you look critically at their law, the electoral law and the rest of that, right? And when you look critically at those who are supposed to give that institution some little respect and all that, right? You realize that you are just a mugu to believe that their election can make any difference. Honestly speaking, you see, normally I would say, no, I mean, so I would say, I apologize if you feel kind of offended, but in this case, I have no apology. You see, this time, your worst fear is that if you don't vote, they are going to bring their own people in. If you don't vote this, they are going to, they are going to continue. This one is going to continue. Oh, APC is going to continue. Oh, PDP is going to. Stop lying to yourselves, okay? Stop lying to yourself, because the first lie you are telling yourself is that if you don't participate, right, then they are going to choose whoever they want and they can do whatever they want to you. That's a lie you are lying to yourself, making yourself think that you are responsible. But what you are not paying attention to is that do you actually have a choice? If you have if you have a real choice, would you choose between PDP and APC? If you have other choices that you know that you can mobilize for, and nobody can actually change that, would you vote for? Would you mobilize for PDP? I'm not saying people won't. Some of you will do that, like normally, for your own reason, which you have the right to. But majority of you are going to choose PDP, APC because to you, no one else could do it. No other group could do it. Because that's exactly what the system says. That's exactly what the system wants. Now then, pay attention to the process of those who will now be presented to you from these two cancerous tumor. APC, PDP, which there's no difference, by the way, right? Then pay attention to the process. Then you realize that the same characters, the same criminals are always going to present to you two devils. And like you said, you just have to choose one. Be open and praying that one will be fair to you. It won't punish you too much. It's like you are willing to. The system says so. But that's something so difficult for you to break up. Now, what about if you just detach yourself from that nonsense? Because we want you to lose legitimacy. You have nothing to lose. What are you going to lose? They've been promising you electricity since when? They've been promising you a better standard infrastructure since when? They've been promising you human rights, promising you this, promising you that. Since when? Which of them have you actually gotten from them? So what do you have to lose? So that is a new phase of resistance if you disagree with a system that is tailored to always work against you. But if you have psychologically programmed yourself that, are you saying we should not vote? If we don't vote, if we all say we are not going to vote, they are going to choose themselves. You have been voting, have you not? You voted to have a representative to speak for you at the National Assembly because you have an insecurity issue. And the guy is there talking about allowance this, allowance that, and so many other nonsense. And you can't do anything about it because you just have to wait. You validated that. So what do you have to lose? Anyway, I haven't voted, so probably that's why I don't really think I have anything to lose. You have a lot to lose, open on them, only to end up being lied to. I actually like how people like this treated the politicians who have treated them bad. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. This happened in Ekiti, where one of those APC, Egbekegbe, have been appealed, Papa deceived person, you know what I mean? Coming back since 2023 election is close by. And then they give him this treatment. Now the guy, I believe now the guy they wear white, right? So they prefer to go with another person. We will not betray them. They said they betrayed them. That one is the incumbent. The one that is probably picking up the bills right now is the one they feel like 2023. Now that one we want against. They go say Honorable Ewa Malo. So, I go say one businessman buy ticket for Tinubu. They don't write the check, 100 million. So, on Sunday, they are going to go and pick up a 100 million form for Tinubu, right? Which is all right. They are celebrating it to show that, according to they said, Tinubu has made many men. He has lifted many people. But Yoruba land is part of the poverty capital of the world. Our people are turning to Almajiri. They've turned to Almajiri in a big way, and they scream every day, and the likes of Tinubu are to be blamed. They brought this upon you. So, Aminu, somebody called Aminu from Kebbi, gave the check in Abuja to Tinubu. But some are now saying that Tinubu no did the meeting where they agreed that the form is going to cost this, and that. Right? And now that Aisha also returned, Aisha has also invited Tinubu, Atifku, Pastor Ruga, and few other people to come to Ass Old Rock. That's a Ass Old Villa. And whenever they are coming, they should not bring their phones. Sorry, I think I have that invitation. Let me show you. So that's the invitation. Please don't bring your phones. Phones are not allowed. Please bring this card with you. Okay? Ramadan Iftar with presidential aspirants of political parties. So Aisha, the mother of Nigeria, she is visiting Nigeria. I know many of you have heard about that, right? This guy is also invited, by the way. So Aisha, who lives in Dubai and always commute between Dubai, London, Istanbul in Turkey, then Istanbul in Turkey, back to Dubai, where she lives, where she believes that she's safe. Since the moment that there was a gunshot inside the Ass Old Rock, where Aisha Bokwari's bodyguard was fighting with Tunde Sabitu, the personal secretary to Bokwari. You remember the story, by the way? Sorry, guys. Let me take Judas Iscariot out of your screen. I don't know why I'm even showing you that. That's Judas Iscariot. So I'll come back to this. Sorry, I'm just stretching it. So Aisha returned. After Bokwari bragged that all of you are forgetful, you don't remember what they did for you. So Aisha returned that we just need to do prayer. Alabamsa. So Aisha returned and invited all the political presidential aspirants. I want to feed all of you. May you now come breakfast with me. Your mama they visit. It is such a shame. The president of Nigeria lives in London. the wife of the president of Nigeria lives in United Arab Emirates, UAE. And they only visit Nigeria every once in a while. This is the second time Aisha will be visiting Nigeria this year. Maybe, maybe she's going to also stay around and then come back again in another few months to check on all of you. Anyway, Tinubu didn't attend the APC NEC meeting where they decided that it's going to cost 100 million to get APC presidential form. However, you now have your easy. Okay, yeah, that's that. Anyway, thank you. So you now have your Isagu wearer who are also gearing up to brace up for your 2023 charade, so to say. So Aisha, the first lady, some of you remember, how many of you remember this video? I bet many of you actually does.
Cheque, help us, help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet? The president now is calling you, come, I want to help you. You don't want to appear. Will you agree? No. Now the first lady is calling you, come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? No. Child, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. The bloods we are sharing, there is God, oh. 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 There is God.
Thank you, Jerry. Now, so on a laugh. Now, you can't get another first lady we don't even give a damn about anybody. There is one person called Maiyegun Dumi. Wale Maiyegun Dumi. Wale. Or oh, Najim Maiyegun Dumi. Najim said, Tinubu, he said, a friend like Tinubu is what you need to succeed. A president like Tinubu is what Nigeria needs from 2023. She no be juju be that. She Tinubu no be Bokwari friend. How come Bokwari no succeed? Maiyegun Dumi. How? Tinubu no salam Orijo, give him Orijo and say, for example, you see that Orijo of 50 million youth. Recruit. 33% unemployed. Recruit into the army. 50 million youth. What are they going to be eating? Cassava, agbado, corn. It's grown here. It's a matter of demand and supply. Maiyegun Dumi, ó yẹ kí sọ pé orí ò pé ni, but jẹ́ kúkú sọ pé orí ò pé completely. Because orí ò lè pé kò sọ nǹkan tó sọ yẹn. Kò possible kò jẹ́ pé orí ẹ pé orí ò sọ nǹkan tó sọ yẹn. Because if that Tinubu brain, now the brain, now then you know what you go get now. Omali. That's what they go about saying, they make up things. Nigeria ma ban kan jẹ́ gan. Nigeria olórí burúkú làwọn Tinubu yìí, wọ́n ban kan jẹ́ gan. Tinubu is a friend you need to succeed. And Bokwari is not succeeding. Pastor Ruga is not succeeding. Except in the brain of you humbled slaves. You tell yourselves all of that. To the point that even your star boy, at this point, they think that water don't pass Gary. About speak French.
Excellence, Monsieur le Président, je vous remercie infiniment pour votre appui pour Sahara Energy. Acceptez, Monsieur le Président, l'assurance, mes considérations distinguées.
Now, so the thing don't, I said, well, if the whole thing can't come back to anything return to, Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu, the new one that they now call Judas, in the camp of Tinubu, the Lagos Abobaku, the Oshogbo Alimajiri, the humbled slaves, obedient fools, and sophisticated morons, they call him Judas. Onoko Wajal, differ from Taylor, Pastor Ruga, as we speak right now, he can become the president of Togo. If Nigeria no work, he go speak French there. They speak jargons. They say they speak French. They think don't enter. Now multi-purpose as we speak. Oh, just choose your poison. That's what they say. Choose your poison. In this regard, choose them well. There is a message for you too, Maiyegun. A demented old man can't take you anywhere. Bokwari is an example. APC, Egbekegbe, has no agenda. Bokwari's lifetime agenda was to be president and bring jihad to Nigeria. Tinubu's lifetime agenda is to be called Mr. President too. And your own future, if you ever care about one, is going to be sold cheaper to take care of this demented man. Shooting tweet latori WhatsApp sha. Maiyegun mina Jim. Shoshi wambe. Show tweet latori WhatsApp so far.
Do you know how many of you tweeting on WhatsApp right now? The world will host a database of 1.6 billion on WhatsApp alone. And yet, we started disconnecting for NIPP, our phone numbers.
Oh, bless you. Is demented, honestly speaking. You see, when the whole thing goes down fully, right? Some of you will become so ashamed. For real. Now, the same old demented man said there is a pandemic has disconnected 1.7 million phone numbers, 1.7 billion phone numbers, from the national grid. Now the same guy stood there and he said, your permanent voters card expires. It expires. That your permanent voters card has expired. You need to go and get another one. He repeated it again at Onikon Stadium. And you need Jekuje Lebi. Oniswaga, out money, some of you, your brothers, your auntie, your friends, and all of them, they are all there swaggering in Lagos, trying to be something too. They want to be councillor, they want to be rep, they want to be this, Lagos, this and that. And because of that, that is why you will say Tinubu is lifting people. Is lifting people. Is lifting you from your self-inflicted generational poverty that you believe that working hard can never lift it. That is why. So, and you come on social media and you'll be like, Tinubu is this and that. All of you have all your agenda everywhere. Your uncle, your auntie, all of those rogues who want to take their turn. Those of them who are already using their own turn. You are there and you go all about, you say, hey, he's lifted people. Lifted you out of where? Lifted you out of where? Lifted you out of your shanties. Abi? And to you is lifted humanity to you. And you Leoni Jeku Jalakpama Shishe. Demented man tweeting from WhatsApp. And one weary tweeting from where's that video again, by the way? I want to hear that again. Tweeting from WhatsApp.
Do you know how many of you tweeting on WhatsApp right now? The world will host a database of 1.6 billion on WhatsApp alone. And yet, we started disconnecting for NIPP, our phone numbers.
What's they talking about? Now we started disconnecting from IPP. What's he talking about? He's talking jargons, but those who are there for waiting they won't chop. About just talk, give us something. As you are do forever, as you are do move on. And then you see some of these faceless ombud slaves. Where's your own papa? Where's your if now your papa be that you go dey proud like Sheyi now? At least. Apart from that, yes, I mean, they are just such a disgrace in all of it. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Let's see where that takes them and the rest of that. As we, now they've won something. Oh, I need to tell you, by the way, you see that idea of consensus. That idea of consensus rattled Tinubu and co. And now they said it is going to be indirect primary, indirect, be something like that. So they will need to now spend money to get delegates. Yeah, people will have to be paid to come and vote for Tinubu, delegate from here, delegate from there, to make it more interesting. But you know the saddest part of their process that you should also kind of have at the back of your mind that you are not having any free and fair election to start with. If they ever conduct one, you're not having one. If they ever conduct an election, you are not having any free and fair. It is going to be a rigged one as well. In another I think in another 3 weeks, 21 days, right? It will become obvious to know who is going to be their candidate from everywhere, okay? They are starting their screening from Saturday, okay? Now, inside the Bokwari's government, his own ministers have shown that they've declared interest to be president. But guess what? They are never going to resign because they are supposed to resign. Their law says they should resign 3 months. But they won't. Maybe say they don't write 2022 budget. They are about to borrow money here and there. Where do you think they'll get the money for the election? And since they are a lawless government, yeah, the funniest one, yeah, 2 guys who robbed their state, stole from their state covers, and they got convicted for it. Former governors, Joshua Darie and the other one. Bokwari pardoned them, right? One of them, immediately he got a pardon and he got home. He picked up APC, Egbekegbe senatorial form. He wants to contest for senator. He's going to contest to be a senator again. And he's going to go to the National Assembly to make law for you. So somebody like that, will somebody like that agree that Nigeria should come to a time whereby everybody should carry their own gari and mind their own pot of soup, right? Would somebody like that agree? Somebody who stole from you, went to jail, got pardoned, like it never happened, under Mr. Integrity. He will run for office and he will become a political office holder again. He will make laws, the laws that you have to obey. Which kind of madness be that? If you are not greedy and selfish, do you actually know how that always come back to bite you? That's why I said that if you understand how politics works and how politics affects you, right? You will see it beyond religion, tribe, ethnic, or class, and every other stupid things they put out there to make you feel like you are making sense. To say, I'm a Yoruba man, I am going to support a Yoruba man. Shomadini. I'm an Igbo man. It is my right to support an Igbo man. I don't know that. Oh, I made this and that because this one won't criticize that. Do you actually are you normal? You can't be normal. Jolly Yame, thank you very much, by the way, for bringing that up. I almost forgot that. Joshua Darie, Jolly Yame. And as we speak right now, yeah, nobody gives a damn about who dies or who lives in this issue of security or no security, as it is. And since they don't care, why should you care in validating their fraud? Right? I said it to my close friends. I said, listen, we've passed that stage of believing that election could make a difference and then eventually change everything up. No. It won't do anything. There was a time that people told people, they said, you know what? If you really want to make a difference and you want to challenge these people, you need to do it from within. You need to break in and blah, 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 blah. By joining these their corrupt criminal groups with names called political parties. Now, many people have tried that. Guess what? They ended up becoming them, and even worse than those that got them interested in the first place. And they have learned, excuse me, they have learned a lot now. They have a way of cutting you into sizes. Now you can't afford to say, I am intelligent, I am young, I have Nigeria is a population of young people. Now I want to lead like Omoyele Sowore is projecting to do. It doesn't work that way. So they've done everything enough that they've blocked that circle, and they run a special propaganda against any interest outside that circle. That's what they do. So if you want to make any difference, you should team up and break the entire system, scatter them, although they can self-destruct. While they are self-destructing, right, we should not be gathering to give them a lifeline. Participating in their election is giving them a lifeline. In my own opinion, I have friends who believe that, no, that is not true. To them, they want to try things that many of us have tried in the past. And if I'm telling you this, I am speaking from this vantage position of experience, okay? I am not one of those who just talk on social media. I put actions to my words, especially wherever and whenever they are actually necessary. I have run political system. I've run the political process with people. I have put people into political process as well, whereby people run for political offices through the political platform that I put together for those who remember that. So it's beyond just talking. We've tried few. We've attempted few. We've tried it in parts. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they said go and start from the grassroots. Well, the reason why telling you to go and start from the grassroots is never going to work and is a deceit, and you should never take it. It's because I have encouraged people to start political participation from the grassroots. Listen, from the bottom up. I believed that indeed, if we could do it then in my own small place of Ogun State, it could spread to the rest of the Yoruba land and then to the rest of the region and all that, right? But it is not just that your idea, okay? It is the system. And those who made that system solid and terrible as it is, yeah, are the same people you are likely looking forward to teaming up with to break that system. It doesn't work that way. And something else will have to happen. It is not political participation like this. Nothing like this is gonna make it happen. It's a waste of time, waste of resources. I have my own experience written in my head here. It's always there because I lived it. I was part of it from the start to the finish. And I can tell you all about that. So if anyone feels like the momentum of the election is catching them, the fever of the election is catching them, they feel like they could pull it and all of that, except if there's something they are not telling us. Okay? To somebody like myself, I'll say it to them straight away, not with this system. Don't deceive yourself. And my friends agree with that, even though we may never say, don't near us, don't come closer to us. We'll still talk to them because the process, all this process that they are putting together, they are the ones who wrote the guidelines for it. They're just passing that to you if you participate in their election, so to say. Many people have come out recently who have come and agreed with us on our position that referendum or the conversation, national conversation, should be first before any national election, or else it will be the recycling of the same rogues. And when you recycle them, what do you get? You get the same result. Suffer, no, they tire you. That That's why people like us are not interested, and we never encourage anybody to be part of or to waste their time or resources. It is sad that normally, this platform, which we all agree that MaiyegunsDiary Politico is also the platform of the revolutionists. I mean, the revolutionaries and all that, right? So if you are a revolutionary yourself, you find a solace, you find a comfort on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, simply because we have something in common, a system that is put together, right, to perpetually limit us to where we are right now. Yeah. So if we have that all together, the system that is killing us, the system that is exiling us, the system that is jailing us, the system that is kidnapping us, the system that stole our inheritance, our future, everything that should matter to us. Now, if we have all of that in common, when we go for the jugular of that system, we should do it collectively, same time. But again, nobody has the one solution to all of this. But political participation under the current political arrangement, under the current constitution, is a no for us. And we would have nothing to lose because we've never gained anything, including those who voted for them, those who have been campaigning for them, those who have been doing the dirty jobs for them. Nobody gained anything, including themselves too. What did they gain? What have they gained? They have a country to themselves that they couldn't manage. They run the country aground, and here we are. Healthcare, ordinary healthcare, they cannot provide for their citizens, not even to themselves. Safety, protection that they promised their people, they couldn't give that. The First Lady of Nigeria is not living in Nigeria. Their family, their children are not living in Nigeria. They are living off you elsewhere because they can, and they would continue to steal money in order to sustain their lifestyle. The lifestyle of them sending their children abroad is an expensive one that their salaries and all that could never afford. But you are not saying that. But I will make you see that. I will continue to make you, understand the consequences of their different positions. Grandstanding here and there, it's a step to no one. It will never help anyone in this case as well. So if we want to fight, our fight should be collective. I love revolution. I love the idea behind it. I love the push that could make people, shit themselves. I have seen it work. I've seen them shit themselves. When people formed a common opinion, a united front, at least even though if it's a fraction of them, it still scares them. I like that. You can force their hand to do what you want without violently committing a crime in this case, right? But again, nobody has the monopoly solution to how we are going to get our own promised land. But trust me, there are generations who have lived this. There are generations who have been working towards this. Many of us in Yoruba land, we grew up knowing that a day is coming, that Yoruba nation, Yoruba land will stand on its own. Oduduwa Republic, where the Omokaharo, Ojire, the Omoluabi, who have been forced to be part of this contraption, a day is coming that we would be free of this whole thing, even though many of those who don't believe it now, they will still live in that world. It is all it's pre-prophesized like this. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. This is Bola Ige, late Chief Bola Ige, the former Attorney General of Nigeria, speaking about the destiny and the destination of we, the Yoruba people, the journey, the mission that this generation will take further than where they left it. They said 2080. Nah, we will do it far before then. Sorry, I'll come back and interpret. And if you can help me, please let me do some subtitle in the comment section for my friends who don't understand Yoruba. Word for word, if you can. Listen to late Chief Bola Ige. Very, very prophetic. Here we go.
Lọ́wọ́ tó jẹ́ pé inú wa sì dùn wípé Ọlọ́run bùkún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ti bá ọkàn wọn dá májẹ̀mú wípé ní agbára Ọlọ́run by 2000 AD òmìnira máa dé fúnlẹ̀ káàkiri òmìnira. Èmi sì mọ̀ dájú wípé Ọlọ́run Oòduà, Ọlọ́run ọ̀rọ̀ yíyàn, Ọlọ́run Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀, Ọlọ́run Adékúnlé Ajáṣin, amúwadé ilẹ̀ tuntun náà nígbì tí ẹ̀gbin ìyà àti ìrẹ́jẹ kò ní sí fún ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire mọ́. Tàbá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ilẹ̀ ìlérí tí a fẹ́ lọ yìí, àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ òye wọ́n máa kù bí egbére. Lójú àwọn egbére tí mò ń wí, ó dàbí ẹni pé ohun ẹ̀yẹ ni kí ènìyàn máa wà nínú ẹ̀gbin, nínú ìyà, nínú ìrẹ́jẹ. A bá sì fojú wo, kì í ṣe àwa Yorùbá nìkan ni ìyà ń jẹ ní Nàìjíríà. Bí Yorùbá ti bọ̀ wọ́n ní àrùn tó ń ṣe ojì náà ló ń ṣọ̀ọ́dún. Ohun tó ń ṣe Abọ́yadé ń kọ́ o. Ìyà tó ń jẹ Ṣógbẹ̀yìn l'Abẹ́òkúta ń kọ́. Òun náà ló ń jẹ Súlè ní Kòńtàgó. Èmi tó bá ń pa bàbá múlò ní Adó-Èkìtì kọ́ tí ó yàtọ̀ sí èyí tó ń pa Ìkejùkù ní Abakaliki. Nígbà tí mo sọ Ìkejùkù ní ìsìn, wá rántí tí wọ́n láyé ló ń jẹ́ kí rántí o. Nígbà tí a wà ní Òbúgà, ẹ̀yin náà àti gbọ́ olóyè Akíntọ́lá ló ń pe Ọ̀gá ní Òbúgà. Ó wá polongo ẹgbẹ́ NNDP lẹ́sà òkè ló ń bí ọjà wa ẹ̀kẹ́ tó bá ti kọjá ẹ̀sà wípé ẹ̀ lọ sókè lẹ́sì. Ilé àwọn Ìkejùkù ló. Jẹ́bọ̀ àwọn aláìṣe action group àti NCNC àwa ni ọgbà àgbà yẹn ló bá kúkú mú ìgbé àti ìtúkú ló bá pa pọ̀. Mi mọ̀ bóyá Bọ́lájí wà ní tí Bọ́lájí bá wà ní kó gbọ́ ilé yìí o torí Yorùbá di ọ̀rẹ́ mi á sọ fún ẹ̀. Chief Akíntọ́lá ó lọ sí òde ló wá ní wọ́n máa sọ men of integrity bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn kan wà ní tí wọ́n integrity o. Bọ́lá tí ṣe fi gbọ́ ṣùgbọ́n yẹn Àkúrẹ́ ìlú àwọn olú àti fásọ̀rọ̀ tí ilé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Chief Akíntọ́lá ló ṣe campaign. Gbogbo ènìyàn wọ́n sì kó lọ́wọ́ sókè o. Gbogbo wọn lọ́wọ́ sókè. Gbogbo ènìyàn wọ́n sì kó lọ́wọ́ sókè. Gbogbo wọn ọwọ́ ni mo ti ń bọ̀ ní mo rẹ́ ní ajá sí.
Chief Bola Ige. Man, Yoruba lost, man. They killed people who are there, who are, they call him Cesaro or Cicero. Cicero Esauke. Cicero, he was a great orator, and he could link events, to happenings and all of that, and it will make a great impression on you with his messages. He was addressing the Yorubas. He said at some point, some of the Yoruba leaders of the time, Akitola and all that, they were calling him Ige Shuku because of his political association with Obga at the time. So they were calling him Ige Shuku. So long story short, he actually said it that the Yorubas are going to be in Oduduwa Republic in year 2000 AD, not 2080. And that should have been year 2000. when Yorubas agreed for the last time to be part of the 1999 arrangements, which Obasanjo benefited, and they ended up weakening the Yoruba region, Yoruba land. You get what I mean? So unfortunate, but some of us actually have their dream. Some of us read books. We read the history when we read about the old Western region, and we wanted to relive that. I mean, we want our children to live that. We don't want them to experience this Janjaweed Alimajiri style of living, which is what the likes of Tinubu and gang represented. The bread and butter politics, the rice and gari, rice and semo politics. That hasn't helped us. It made us poorer. And for those who can think very well, look around you. The economy of Yoruba land has been destroyed beyond what they have told you or they are telling you. And it's always better for you to know that the consequences of this is that once they make their money, they will disappear with their families and their loot. You will be left to till the land that they have ravaged, plundered. And the poverty we are talking about could become generational. And before it gets to that point, let's pick those who are still brave among our men. Let us encourage them, educate them. You see, one most powerful weapon that we can give to, and you want to call it a strong, no, put it this way. One viable weapon you can give to a man in this day and time is to give him an information that could help him to change his situation from what it is currently to something better. It starts from the decision they make in their political participation, so to say. And we have to encourage them before Nigeria finally destroy them, because Nigeria automatically destroy our self-esteem by stealing and taking away, or should I say, by weakening our economic power. If you can't feed yourself, you can't fight anyone easily or reasonably or logically. You can't. When you fight with this hunger for success in you, it's different from fighting with hunger to survive. That is what they have subjected the most of our people into. And that's why easily they can blackmail you with all these fancy words. Tinubu and this. No. Don't battle or rattle us with fancy words. We want to see what they've done. Somebody put something out. I think I screenshotted it. Yorubas have been so kind to Tinubu, but Tinubu have been so ungrateful. A kind of an ungrateful element that nobody, when I say nobody, I mean it, nobody should be blackmailed into believing any goddamn nonsense that this guy says. Trust me. I screenshotted a few stuff earlier, and the purpose was to tell you how Yoruba land have been so generous to Tinubu and his gang. And what do we get in return? Poverty, corruption, self-centeredness, greed, the greed of the few, and all that. So they said that before Tinubu came in, he had, where is that again? There was no Oriental Hotel. There was no Lekki this or that, which means that Yoruba land made him richer, while he made Yoruba land poorer. Not just him, himself and so many others like him who are parading themselves as your savior. I don't have the right device here that I wanted to share that with you, but I'll do that some other time. Among other things there and crimes they've been committed, just same way they are wrecking havoc in Eastern Nigeria, and they are looking for who to blame for it. If you remember that, there is one thing I picked as well. I actually thought I was going to share that with you, but I'll keep that for some other time as well. Okay. So the other thing I want to do tonight is this: we choose our battle so wise and well, and we go about it with a serious salvo, with serious determination and concentration, so to say. I am for the independence of the Yoruba land, and I will do everything within my capacity and advocacy to encourage everybody to share the same thing everywhere, because we must have something to open. We must have something that is realistic and something that we can indeed hand over to the generation coming after us after we must have created it. And that is to say, the journey for the realization of the Yoruba nation, the Oduduwa Republic, and everything that comes with it, start with our mind. After realizing that those who were supposed to speak for us have never spoken for us, those who are supposed to fight for us have never fought on our side, they've always been against us. And knowing that, you should never, ever, ever be deceived into validating them, okay? Yoruba nation struggle is ours, and our intervention to start with is making impact. They may tell us that we probably are wasting our time. Don't believe them, okay? When this OBLLB of a thing comes back, when the whole thing bond them and all that, and they've done whatever they will do to themselves, we want them to come back to something more reasonable, something more real. And that is the fight for the Yorubas' emancipation, the self-determination advocacy that me, you, and every one of us have chipped in our resources to continue to make a reality. So I have this. I'm going to open my line this moment, okay? I want to take few calls. I want you to be part of this too, right? And if you really want to be part of it, just use the number on your screen, okay? That is the WhatsApp number. It's on your screen. It's just scrolling right there. Type it down, save it with Maiyegun, and then dial the number. But before I open the line, I'm going to go and mix up a little tea, just a little more. And then when I get back, I'll take a few calls, okay? So we need to continue our fundraising as people have suggested, okay? And then, yeah, I'm going to share the link as well when I come back. Until then, help share the broadcast. If you haven't really liked the video, you should like it. I mean, it is your offering. You should never je ogunlowo. I'll be back in a minute, and the line will be opened in a sec too. I think I have my first caller on the line. So we are starting tonight. And your name, sir, or ma?
Okay, my name is Gabriel Agmontai, Equal General.
Gabi.
Calling from London.
How are you tonight?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Solid. You're my first caller, and I'm happy to have you here, by the way. So, yeah, fire on, sir.
Okay. Just want to say, yeah, more can we say? You said it all. I just want to say well done for the job you're doing.
Thanks.
And Nigeria, we are listening. I don't know how we're going to talk to ourselves before we learn, especially the younger generation. Look at what these people are doing. It's enough to, if I still see young Nigerians supporting these people, sometimes just, I try not to go mad. Look at what they're doing now. I have one of them in my workplace. Today I call him, say, you, as you are now, can you go aspire to be president of Nigeria with this kind of amount they are? He said he's APC supporter. With this kind of amount, they asking to buy form and all that. He was speechless. He couldn't say anything. So thank you very much for the work you are doing, and have a wonderful evening.
I will, man. Yeah. Thanks so much for calling in as well tonight. So you have a good one yourself, okay? So that's a Gabriel from London, I believe. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Maiyegun.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, my name is Victor. I'm calling from Sweden.
Victor from Sweden. So you are live.
Yeah.
Everybody can hear you too, please.
Yeah. In fact, there is a lot to say concerning Nigerian situation. I find out that anytime somebody tangible want to make an impact in the Yoruba land, they always kill him. You know, think about the issue of Awolowo. Look at the way they depressed him, and they never allow him to fulfill what he wanted to do for Yoruba land and Nigeria as a whole. You know, then let us think about the issue about Abiola too. You know, they always look for one way or the other and make sure anybody that is rising in Yoruba land, they will just kill him. You know, I don't know what to say. You know, I don't know what to say, and I believe that religion also has done a whole lot of problems. You know, to us, you know, a lot, you know. And the people that are supposed to speak up, they hide under religion and start doing so many things that is not supposed to be, you know. So I think we are blindfolded anyway. I could remember, you know, there's one thing I wanted to, because I served in Zamfara State. Where my state was the first state to serve, that is National Youth Service in
Zamfara.
In Zamfara, yeah. I did my orientation in Arungongo, you know, this where they do this fishing festival every year. I don't know if they still do it now.
Or Kebbi? I thought Arungongo is in Kebbi or something. Or is the river just cut across?
Yeah, I did in Zamfara State, but then in Zamfara we don't have the orientation camp. We were the first set, so we did. I did my orientation with Kebbi, you know.
Right. So they stationed you in Kebbi for your orientation, and you served in Zamfara. I get it.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. So then that was the first time I have the opportunity to travel to the north, you know. And I remember that was the time Buhari was made the PTF chairman. I don't know, this Petroleum Trust Fund chairman under Abacha. Yeah, under Abacha, you know. He used that money to develop part of North then, at the detriment of other places, you know. Because I remember I was traveling through some places, you know, when I was, you know, going for my orientation. After 2 weeks, when I was coming back, it was like a magic. The way they used the money to tie some roads and other things. This same Buhari did not do anything on that part of the country, you know.
And that allegation is so true, because people brought it up then. They said that that was how Pasha is always been. Is always like that kind of factional person. It's never one Nigeria of a thing. He doesn't believe in one Nigeria of a thing. Whatever he can take is always factional. People said that before the whole thing, before the whole power got to his hand, but he still got it anyway.
Yeah, because I remember, so because of that, when he was trying to contest for this election where he becomes the president now, I remember I was laughing. I said, look, you people, if you trust this man, you are messing things up. Everybody was shouting, no, you know, it's like I was the only one on my side, you know, like 99% to 1% there. I was telling people, don't vote this man. This man never made well for Nigeria. We are just looking at this man like that. When he was the PTF chairman, I witnessed a lot during that time.
They are doing the same thing for Tinubu right now. They are doing the same thing right now. Like, you know, so it's always been like that, hasn't it?
Yeah, I know. Sincerely, Osibajo wouldn't want to contest with yeah, I know sincerely. But I know there will be a kind of division, a kind of divide and rule. You know, they would like to set Yorubas against the Yoruba. You know, I have that notion 100%. But I believe the game has started already.
It started though.
And let's see, but this is a level thing down now. Let's see what is going to happen.
Let's see who is going to outwit one another. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maiyegun, I pray. I watch your program.
I know.
This is the first time I'm getting your phone, you know, and I watch your program. It's like it's everyday tonic. Even the past and the present, and you know, It's like a tonic, why this mean, it reminds me of so many things. And I know God is going to give you the strength.
Like your time in Nasarawa and Kebbi. That's one thing that you probably would. You're so happy to share with us tonight. I heard a lot of time. I hear a lot of that all the time.
Oh, so Maiyegun, so good work. Let me give other people time to go. I know
thank you.
Waiting on the line.
No, it's all right. I mean, it's a pleasure talking to you, by the way. So thank you for calling in. Okay, you stay safe, sir. So I have another person on the line. Here we go. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I am very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Fine. This is AK Ola from New Jersey.
Class, man. So you're live. Everybody can hear you. AK, hola. Sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is my first time calling. I'm very happy to get through.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. So I just want to share one or two things regarding my experience with last time I went to Nigeria, right?
Oh, go on, please.
So I promise I will not go back in a long time.
I like people sharing their experiences, so it's kind of always, go for it. I like that.
Yeah. So on my way from Ibadan to Lagos, right? I was traveling with my brother from the UK too.
Right.
But actually, I live in the United States.
Right.
And can you believe that on getting very close to Lagos, we were stopped by some men in uniform.
Oh.
And they were actually asked to stop, and we, they other, where you guys from? What are you doing? And I showed them my ID, like, okay, we're students, this and that. Can you believe that they actually ordered us to get out of the car, went through our wallet, and they found my wife's credit card on me. And they said, oh, you're a scammer. Can you believe that they took they made me and my brother actually go to the ATM and withdraw 100,000 naira?
Oh, you experienced that kind of taking you to, you know what I mean?
Yes. Wow. And they actually took 100,000 naira was in my own account. I just emptied it out to bail myself out for having my wife's credit card on me.
That night.
So, I mean, yes. And I look back and I was like, no, I'm not going back in a long time because that country is like, I feel like there is no hope for that country again. I mean, imagine after like 5 years in the US, going home and experiencing that, it was just horrible.
The trauma of, what if these guys just decide to do us dirty?
Exactly.
Who is going to, Who is going to believe us when we are dead? Because a lot of things can be running through your head at that moment. It's not because you are new to hearing police taking money, police doing this and that, but you finding yourself in that position, that moment. The trauma, man.
Yes, I was scared to my pants. Like they were cocking their guns and saying, "I'll kill you." I'll like, calm down. And my brother is very hot-tempered, right? And I was like, "Calm down, brother. Bro, we need to get out of this before we can actually, let's just get out of this situation."
Before the story that touches that.
Exactly, because Papa and Mama did back in Nigeria, or they don't even know say you don't enter Wala. See today, nobody even knows. Nobody will hear this story from me. I'm telling you. And I listen to you, and I feel like maybe there's a little hope we can have our own country, maybe. But Nigeria, the way it is, like the way it is going right now, it's gonna be like like same story. I mean, doing the same thing over and over again.
Changes.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. I'm really I appreciate what you're doing, and honestly, when I go to work, you're like when I'm driving, I'm listening to you because I have some hope. One day, maybe Nigeria will get Nigeria will be like Nigeria will no longer exist, and we have our own country and be able to move forward.
And then prior to that as well, maybe we can make some changes in Yoruba land to at least before Yoruba nation comes, we have to have a nation first, and we have to have a people who understand that this is not how to live, this is not how to exist. We need to change the orientation first. That's a lot.
Exactly. I believe that represents.
We'll get there.
Because
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nice one, Baba. Nice one. Thank you very much. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. If you have it, one of the experiences you don't want to have is to be around the Nigerian police, cocking their guns, threatening to shoot or kill you. And you've read a lot of stories that, this could be it. How scary. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, my name is Damien.
Did you say Damien?
Yeah, from UK.
Class brand. So
yeah,
you
it's been a long time. It's been a long time I've been following you, trying to see how you analyze things and everything. I'm more like, wow. You are just unique, you
Thanks,
know.
man.
So I really appreciate the way you analyze issues, make it, what I say, objective, critic, like constructive. When you are criticizing somebody, you are constructive in your criticism and everything. So I really appreciate your where you analyze things. You just need to be a good political analyst, to tell you the truth. But anyway, I'm just happy to call it first and foremost.
At least to hear our voices one-on-one. So it's a pleasure. Damien.
Okay, so there is something I just remembered now as I was just listening to some guys. When that issue of the train bombing happened, people we are condemning, talking about, the life of people that we are in the train and everything. I was just more like going through the news I had when the president had to speak. And the only thing he was just talking about is they need to fix the train. He wasn't even concerned about the life of the people that we are on the train, that kind of stuff. So he's just kind of heartless human being. He doesn't think about it.
He's still not concerned about those who were taken on that train, those who died and every other
thing. His main concern is just let them fix the train, that's all. You see that there's nothing like human sympathy about him. No. He's just totally out of touch with human, So I just more like, I was kind of, from day one, I don't even like the man, He's just something else.
I mean, what is not like about him? Like, what, put it this way, Demi, right? Because sometimes you feel like, am I a bad person for saying I don't like him? You are not a bad person. What is there to like about him? Tell me one, if you can remember.
It just makes you go more like crazy. Even the people that, when even his advisors will talk, he will just, what kind of people are around this guy? The people, him and his advisors and everything, the way they talk, you begin to imagine the kind of human beings these people are, that are just totally out of touch with what is going on in Nigeria. They have had this previous experience, but once you go in there, it's more like you have been jazzed.
It's like a
you are totally out of
It's like having dark souls.
You are totally out of touch. Some people, even some politicians, some of them, you see them that are talking like human beings. The next minute, once they align themselves with this man or they visit him, the way they will talk like this, you will see that something is wrong somewhere.
Something is not right anymore.
It's just something else. I don't know. And again, for me, all these issue of election or whatever, is just totally out of the equation. Whoever that goes in there, whether it's an Igbo man, a Yoruba person, anybody from the south that goes in there, you are just trying to validate their distance. They might even agree for a southerner to go there and then be there, but you can't do anything because the structure is totally against you. There's nothing you can do that, that will change anything at all. So for me, I don't subscribe to all these, people clamoring for Igbo presidency, Yorubas coming back, all those kind of. It doesn't make sense.
You see, people like us know the vote. Me, I know the vote, and I've told people
you
why.
Don't need to waste your energy on voting. You don't even need to waste your energy voting because there's nothing to. There's nothing to vote for. Even if not from head to toe, no single politician now you can easily vouch and then say, oh, this person will do something at the end of it.
There's even something I want to add too, Take, for example, wetin Peter Obi won't do, wetin Tinubu won't do, wetin any of these guys won't do when they see want to use the same constitution,
Like for me,
what can they do?
When I was in secondary school, that's when Peter Obi was the governor of Anambra State. I saw him in action. To tell you the truth, the man is just something else.
I mean, within his own space, we are talking about Nigeria now. It will be disgraced.
The reason why people don't like him that time is because as a politician, he doesn't share money.
No.
He's a simple guy. The first time I met him, he went to Urban Gear Secondary School with about 4 cars, 4 convoys. With him, no much security.
He was driving Pojo car. I knew that time as a governor,
Yeah, he went to one urban girls secondary school. My dad was a patron there. He helped to build the school and everything. So he visited the school to donate buses and everything to them. So people were saying, oh, that's the governor's convoy. That's governor's convoy. We are thinking it's a joke because it's just more like a forecast. He just went there. The next thing, because our house is more like a 4-story building, so from there we can see the inside of the school. From there, I saw. Yeah, that was when I saw this man. He was just a simple guy. So, but the point there is, even if we have something like Peter be there, he won't do anything different that much because the structure is totally against him.
Yeah,
you understand? The House of Assembly there is just there to, dominate whatever.
Manipulators.
Yeah. You can see the way they came up with this issue of fuel subsidy out of nowhere. So who even voted in support of that 4 trillion? Yeah, who even supported it? Nobody. Out of nowhere, we just had that the House of Assembly have approved it. Who approved? Nobody knows. And it just, they play with your psyche, I don't know. Oh my God. Just God help that country, to tell you the truth.
I'll say amen, because they're going to need them. So anyway, thank you so much, Damien, for your time tonight.
I'm very happy to contribute today because I've been trying to say 1 or 2 things, but all of them have, skipped my mind. But just these few ones,
you did well.
I'm so happy to interact with you today. It's so nice. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. I expect others to bring in their contribution as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Damien. All right. And I hope I will speak to you some other time.
Yeah, one of these days, once you come to London, I will try and then meet you in person as well.
Oh, that would be lovely. I'll be in London tomorrow, trust me, and I'll tell everybody where I am. I'm not going to.
Yeah, tomorrow it won't be possible because I'm working tomorrow. I didn't plan for it anyway. But hopefully, one of these days, anytime, we are going to meet up and have a good conversation. I really enjoy your analytical analysis and analysis. So thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Stay safe, Baba. Nice one, eh? That's Damien from London. So I have another person on the line. Hello there.
Maiyegun General.
Yes, sir.
This is Tunde calling you from Texas.
T from Texas. To know about. Good to hear from you again, sir. How are you?
Yes, it's my pleasure. I've always been watching.
Class.
And you know what it means to get Maiyegun online. It's always a tug of war. Yes, Maiyegun, we will just continue to do what we are doing.
We will.
I want to believe that we are getting closer to our Canaan that we left Egypt.
Class.
As far as awareness is concerned. You see, yesterday, I think Adeola in the People's Parliament.
Yes.
I agreed with Adeola to a very large extent that the system is going to self-correct because things are not getting better.
No.
But what's going to help the self-correction to come faster is the awareness that is going on. And I want to say thank you and God bless you, Maiyegun, for those B-ball. You are fantastic, and we are proud of you.
Thank you.
We are friends of Maiyegun and will continue to be friends of Maiyegun until this dream is realized. One thing that bothers me about people back in Nigeria is how they have not been able to figure out that there is no way you can continue to build illegitimacy upon illegitimacy to get legitimacy. It's not possible.
No.
There is no way you can get the right person to come through a wrong platform and you think you get a right result. No. It's not going to happen.
No.
You will never have a good seed planted in a bad soil and expect to get harvest. You will not get any good harvest from that.
No.
And like Princess here said last night, let us add 8 years to our age, to our ages now. How do Nigerians feel comfortable to lose 1 year of their life, not to talk of another 8 years.
Yes.
We have already lost 22 years.
I'm going to be 46
22
years
good years.
In 8 years' time.
22 good years we have lost.
Already.
Then they are about to lose another 8 years.
Making it 30.
Making it 30 years, Maiyegun. And yet these people are still not thinking. They are not asking questions. That's the problem I have. Because if Tinubu says he was talking with the youth, if you look at the Nigerian constitution, what is the definition of a youth according to the constitution of Nigeria? You have to be between 18 and 35. And he said Sanwo-Olu is the leader of the youth there. That's crazy. The man is demented. Okay? And then the people that gather themselves there, they are not even asking themselves. This man is talking about employment for them, future for them. They are not looking around to say, where is Tinubu's son in their own means? Where is Tinubu? He is promising them El Dorado, where his own children are living large in another society where those people use their own resources wisely. And yet, these people are not thinking that they are about to lose another 8 years of their destiny just for somebody. Just for somebody who will get there and they will still continue to complain. They will continue to be poorer and poorer. And the insecurity will continue. Yes. It's very unfortunate. But like I tell you, Maiyegun, I'm convinced that day by day, it may be slow, but it is steady. We will get there. Because that system is going to burst. It's going to self-correct. And we can't wait for this to come. We can't wait for this to come. And then concerning the fundraising, Maiyegun, we just have to, every one of us have to keep doing that and have a monthly commitment. At least
you know what I'm even thinking about that, sir, that I said I'm going to add.
Yeah.
When you get to that point, is that we actually initially had a target of 50 grand to raise. So far, so good.
Exactly.
We've raised 33,000 or so of that. Even if we just meet our target before we close it, we would have done a great thing that many people won't even imagine.
Because we have a lot ahead of us.
Yes.
As far as awareness is concerned. Because if these people are campaigning for election, we should be able to campaign for no election.
Yes.
So, and we need funds to do this.
We do.
So we will continue to support these great ideas. And I believe that we will get there.
I believe too.
Let them continue to garner support for election. The system is going to burst. Because it is all fake. It's all fake and it will end up being fake. So I hope and I pray that they will not even get that election at all. Not to even talk of considering our lives for the next 8 years. Exactly. They can pretend no more. So, and I pray that our people will wise up. I just pray, but we'll continue with the awareness. We will not stop. Each step we take is moving us closer. Thank you very much for a good job. Maiyegun, God bless you.
And you
That's to Agbeke.
I will. So thank you so much, sir. So that's a big one from Satuna from Texas, T from Texas. I have another person on the line. Hello there.
One name
the number. I think that's me. How are you, sir?
I want to promote you to the Igwe ship. You are Igwe.
Osita.
Either they like it or not. Igwe is higher than a king. Igwe. That is what you are.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, this is Osita. Always your brother. Always your man.
Yes.
Unconditional.
Thank you.
My brother, I was just wondering. In the year 2022, we are still talking about election. From what we have experienced in the past 22 years, that the vote of the common man don't count. And we are still talking about election. I read on the newspaper yesterday that the form in the APC is 100 million and the one for PDP is 40 million.
40.
I've never heard of that kind of thing before in my life.
I mean, there are inconsiderate people who don't give a damn, right?
Yes. So I was asking somebody today. I have lived in almost the whole continent of this world. I have never heard of something like that in my life. 40 million, 100 million. That is to tell you that the constitution we are treading upon is a very dangerous constitution. This is where it has gotten us. So is it not possible that a school teacher can become a president? Let's say there's going to be an election. Is it unthinkable that a school teacher could become a president?
No, not anymore.
We are talking about 40 million. We are talking about 100 million. It shows how corrupt. It doesn't only show how corrupt. It shows that the definition of that nation called Nigeria is corrupt. This was the government that came in 2015 and said, that they are going to deal with corruption. But look at the governors that they lead, playing politics with people, thinking that, at least if there's any problem, the people of the Middle Belt will come to us. We've released Joshua Dari, playing politics. That is exactly what is happening here.
It is.
People are not seeing it. Playing politics. So what are we talking about? My brother, like the last caller said, if they are preaching about the election, we should be doing the reverse. We should be preaching against this election. No matter anybody who comes in there, I found myself to be very good. But even if you put me there with that foundation of corruption that they gave to us in the name of in the name of the Constitution, I am bound to fail.
That's right.
That is the reason I keep telling people, do not give credence. Do not give credence. Do not align in any form that anything that has to do with the election. Because they already know what they are doing. It's chess. They are playing chess or not.
Yeah.
Even if they come out today and tell you that they are bringing a reverend father and an imam together, my brother, I will tell you, do not follow them.
Don't.
Do not listen to them.
No.
Because what they are doing is making sure they can revitalize, immortalize that deadly constitution upon the people of Nigeria. And I'm very, very sorry that whosoever that looks up, I am 44 years of age, and anybody that looks up to the age mate of his grandfather, not even his father, to lead Nigeria as at this time, that the world is talking about geophysics. The world is talking about neurotechnology. And Nigeria is still talking about car, malu, and maroda, herdsmen, donkeys. Those are the things they discuss in the parliament in Nigeria. And you say that you like what is happening in that country.
They want to issue passport to cows so that they can do census for cows. Ridiculous things they discuss inside that place. So just because you mentioned it, Osita.
Ridiculous things. And you think that is what we are meant for? I forbid it. I forbid anybody who is perpetrating that evil. If you want to, if the referendum is something that we are asking for, we want to separate the sheep from the goat. We want to separate the light and the darkness. Even if you are an Igbo man, you are a Yoruba man, and you say you want to stay with the Fulani, we will allow you to go.
Yes.
But don't disturb us in achieving what we want to achieve. And let nobody come here and preach and say, oh, now that is the turn of the South. The Southerners are going after each other. We don't even want to be listening to all those things. We don't want to listen to it. Because even if you bring my grandfather from the grave and ask him to come and do the job, he is not going to do anything good. Rather, in short, that my grandfather too will turn like a devil. You will become a devil like them. So please, let us discuss.
Anyway.
Yes, let us discuss how we are going to achieve our aim. Let nobody come here and start telling us, or let nobody come here and feel that, oh, if we present this person, it's going to be good. We are anti. We will be anti this 2023
the establishment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Osita. Thank you very much. That's Osita there. A very kind of a long one as usual, and much appreciated, I would say. So give me a sec. There is I have just been sent the. Let me show you that. I've just been sent the clip of the report of our Maiyegun visits. I don't know if my screen is going to, let's see. I'm going to try and see if I can share a bit of that with you. But if I can't, you can indeed go on to MaiyegunsDiary Politico later this evening or tomorrow morning to read or to watch the report from Maiyegun, the first part of it so far. So I am going to take my last call now. So it's not letting me share that, but there's something I'm going to try. One sec. Let's see if I can try this. There is sharing of file. Let's see if that works. Okay. It may kind of freeze our broadcast, but I'm going to try and see if I can bring it on. So they sent that to me just now.
Ọ̀yọ́ state pé káwọn wá ṣàbẹ̀wò sí ibi ṣé yẹn tó ń bẹ nínú àyẹ̀wò látijọ́ ìhun tí gómìnà náà ti wá tí wọ́n sọ̀kalẹ̀ tí wọ́n fojú rí gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tá a sì wá rí ìyípadà rẹ̀. lọ́wọ́ tá a fẹ́ afẹ́fẹ́ wọn rìn wá lọ́wọ́ lórí ìrìn àjò wọ̀nyí ni gbogbo ibi tí a gbà.
ilé ara mi ni òun ni àtìyàwó mi náà ni gbogbo nǹkan ẹyọ ajọ ojú ní àtàwọn ọmọ tí ń gbé lọ́dọ̀ mi ó kópa lára bá jíjẹ àti mímọ àti gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀dá ni ó kópa lára bá ilé wa mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n bá ọkọ̀ padà gbogbo oníṣẹ́ mi tó jóná mo ní ìdí ẹ̀. wọ́n ya ayé ni. owó yìí ti ń lò nísìn.
Anyway, sorry. Like I said, I was planning to take one last call, but that's from Maiyegun. So we spoke to the victims of the Fulani attacks, the Fulani terrorism in Maiyegun. A year after, the government has abandoned them. It's all paparazzi back then until when the cameras were switched off, they abandoned them. So we have all of that on tape. I'm going to share that with all of you in my subsequent broadcast. And we are doing this same project across Yoruba land, speaking to the victims of the Fulani attacks, the farmers, the villagers, the community heirs, the people whose properties were burned down by these terrorists. And nobody is actually indeed reporting them, talk less of helping them. The government has abandoned them as they always do. Let me take my last call. Here we go. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
Hello, how are you?
Good evening, long time. I'm calling from Ireland.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Maiyegun, I tell you something just happened. I'm not sure yet. I just wanted to check.
Okay.
Because it's quite important.
Right.
You see the recent youth mobilization they did in Nuko Stadium in Lagos. Mm-hmm. Okay. You see the speaker, Tinubu himself, I'm not sure now. That person doesn't look like Tinubu. Tinubu is about 82 years old, but the person I saw there is about 60-something or 60-something years old.
Okay.
I can see if you look at the section, this one is more robust. And when I took a screenshot of the person, I zoom in. I guess what I saw surprised me. If you guys can try it, because I don't think that is Tinubu. It's like seeing the twist Tinubu now again. You understand?
Don't start with this cloning again. No, please. Okay. People are hearing you, sir, and I bet they are going to be looking into it. But I haven't noticed.
Please. If I'm not mistaken, they just have to see it again. Because I begin to suspect the cap he put on to try to cover his face. I know it was his voice, but the voice this time around it was not. It's kind of because the kind of this person is more kind of posh, like he hammered the word. But the Tinubu we know
clearly, like it's not sluggish. It's not like
that we are kind of seeing Tinubu now. Just look at it. You guys look at it. I really want to know more. Okay, thanks, my brother.
A lot of people have started. Let me show you the Tinubu again, Seth. So that everybody way they look like say, oh boy, it be like saying not true, or it be like say I don't see something similar. He say make you tweet from WhatsApp, sir. Go and check your screen right now. Screenshot it again and check again, sir.
Do you know how many of you tweeting on the WhatsApp right now? The world will host a database of 1.6 billion on WhatsApp alone. And yet, we started disconnecting for NIPP, our phone numbers.
Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing today, my brother?
I am doing very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. This is Nafani. I'm calling from Tampa, Florida, United States of America.
Class.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Hey, man. I don't even know where to start, but the truth of the matter is this, and I'm in awe. I'm in awe. That's all I can say. I appreciate you as a person. I appreciate you as a human being. Everything you do.
Thanks, man.
I don't know where to start. Like I said, a lot of Nigerians.
You're already moving already. So yeah, you've already started, man. And thank you.
We always make excuses that poverty is a big problem in Nigeria. But before the election, after election is over, what did they depend on? Like in terms of money and all that, they survive, right?
Big question, yeah. How do they survive without election? Because election doesn't happen every day.
Exactly. That's my point. So I think we should all start making excuses for them.
Right.
Yeah, poverty is a thing in Nigeria, but I don't think it's people are not thinking. I think it's selfishness and lack of understanding. And the way you are talking and telling people the truth, and I hope that people should subscribe to your YouTube channel. Because at this point it should have been more than 2 million people, 2 million subscribers.
We'll get there.
I'm serious about it because it's just mind-boggling that people don't pay attention to the things that are very, very important to our existence. Because if that place, that geographical location called Nigeria doesn't exist anymore, we don't have a place to call home. We don't have even, I'm a citizen, I'm a United States citizen, whatever, but again, I'm a Biafran.
Yes.
You know? So I just I call to commend you for everything you're doing.
You do that to me all the time. Thank you, man.
If people don't realize what Nigeria is taking away from them, they should start from now. Like Princess said to y'all yesterday, count 8 years from now and see how backwards. If you still have your life though, it's still alive. Understand? I came to this country about 13 years ago. Under 3 years, I own my own business. Under 3 years. So just imagine how many years Nigeria took away from me.
From you, exactly. Like, you know, and that's something that people don't understand when they want us to always be patriotic, lying to ourselves that we are Nigerians, this and that. Nigeria have a problem, we know that, but we are proud of the Nigeria. You are lying to yourself. Nigeria stole from us. Nigeria would have turned us into destitute if we are not one of those privileged to benefit from the rots, right? Or if we are not privileged enough to be out of that place. So if you compare what Nigeria took from us to what we have become in a short space of time, it will break heart, my Baba. It breaks heart and say, wow, I wish I had this opportunity in my country. Look at the years gone.
Bro, I'll be 40 years. I'll be 40 years in 2 weeks. And lived here for 13 years.
So Nigeria took 27 years from you.
Exactly. Okay, that's my point. You know, never achieved anything. I only graduated college, which wasn't anything. I came here and started over again. So, my brother, keep doing the good job, man. Every month, I made a commitment to myself that every month I make sure I donate to that, whatever you all got going on.
Thanks.
The freedom of the Yorubas will amount to the freedom of the Igbos. I know that for sure.
Vice versa as well. So, you're right.
I know that for sure. So, my brother, thank you very much for everything. My heart goes out for everybody who's going through the pains and sufferings in Nigeria right now. You know, I have family there, and I know what I do. I know what I spend. I know how much I spend daily, weekly, to make sure that well taking care of my aged parents.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope that everybody will understand and open up their eyes and see what is really going on. Thank you very much, my brother. I really do appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much as well for your time. It's a pleasure and always a pleasure. Anyways, talking to you, I'll say, stay safe, Baba. So this is where we're going to draw the curtains again. Okay. Facebook is still pretty much mad at me as they put a limitation on my account and only allow a tiny fraction, less than a percentage of my own subscribers and my own followers on Facebook actually have access to know that Maiyegun is live. Imagine that. Having almost 500,000 people on a page and only 200, 300 could see you live. That was deliberate. It's not because, it's not because people won't join. But for those of you who managed to join tonight or even shared or participated on Facebook, I say thank you. You are the MVP. The people that will always, if they see Maiyegun or hear anything anywhere, or those who actually search for Maiyegun if it's live or not, I appreciate you, okay? Hopefully it will pick up and they will put and lift the limitation on and on and on until more and more people will get to know that Maiyegun is live and they can participate live. To my friends on YouTube, those who have actually took my own clarion call that when Facebook is mad, YouTube can always be a little bit of a succor where you can congregate and unhindered too, not like Facebook, okay? I appreciate all of you who stood by right there and always stand by anyway. Like the broadcast just before you go, okay? Don't just leave without doing that if you haven't already. If this is your first time of watching MaiyegunDiary Politico on YouTube, subscribe too. Check your notification and make sure that they are all set on. It's important you check. Don't just subscribe and leave. Check that and check your notifications. Sometimes if you don't put them on, you may never know Maiyegun's live. And the prime time for Maiyegun's live broadcast is going to be, it's always now 8 p.m. every night, UK time, Niger time for now. So every 8 p.m. is when Maiyegun is always live. So you can check me out every 8 p.m. and say, oh, is it going to be live? Is it going to come on? I will be here if I am on, and then if I'm not, there's always going to be something streaming for your own viewing. So to everybody who's been part of this from the word go, I say thank you. My callers, contributors, commenters, sharers, subscribers, and including my members on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, those who actually are so dedicated that they subscribed and they pay to listen to Maiyegun every month. I can't thank you enough. I've been so blessed having many of you around me. No joke. However, tomorrow is going to be a little bit busy. I hope when I get to London tomorrow, I would see those of you who probably want to say hi. But the best time for you to see me publicly in London, it's going to be on Saturday. And Saturday the 23rd, which is that Saturday, day after tomorrow, okay? So we'll be at a location around Peckham. And then we can see. And then there are some others who are going to have a personal chat and personal meetings with me. Everyone is meeting me based on the blind trust. So trust me, when you are approaching, approach with care and caution, okay? So respect the space, and then let's always respect ourselves as well, okay? No kind of, any kind of unwarranted approach will be tolerated, so to say. So it doesn't sound strange to you, okay? Just show some respect, show some regard, and respect the space and the rules around there where we are all going to be. It's a public space, but there will be some rules guiding the place. I would love to see many of you. Trust me, I want to. And from tomorrow, you have me to yourselves in London. Until after then, I would see you again. So to my friends all over the world, thank you so much for your time. And when I see you again, of course, we'll take it on from here, where we are stopping tonight. If you are just joining, you can still watch this from the start. Just scroll it back, move it back, and replay it. To everyone else, good night and stay safe.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Kíkó nìna kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.